Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, or whatever time of day you get to this. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot with a little bit of astrology. This is the personal portion of your daily reading, and this is for December 16th, for Friday, December 16th. And as you can see, I'm using the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson. Comes with a big box and a book and everything. The images are so gorgeous. I left everything upright, but I'll probably read it both ways so you guys can, just kind of troubleshoot your day if need be. But anyway, the moon is still in Virgo, late degree Virgo. So by tomorrow probably late tonight actually, because it's at 26 degrees early this morning. Yeah, so later in the day it'll move into lovely Libra. But for this morning, it's opposing Jupiter. So it might be that there's it's actually opposing Jupiter and Neptune. So it might be really good for art, for any type of spiritual work, paying attention to your dream, getting those details, because, Virgo can get the deets, right? And if you wake up in the morning with some information from dream time, make sure you write things down in your dream journal. And it's amazing how your mind will start tracking. When you write things down, it's like your spirit knows it's getting through to you, and your body, soul, is cooperating, and you'll get even more out of it, rather than just hoping you get a dream that you remember. It's like, we always have to work for everything in this realm. Okay, so what do you guys need to know? What do you need to know for the day? Okay, so we have the Hanged Man coming through. Hold on, maybe if I turn that light off overhead. Nah, it doesn't make a dang bit of difference. Okay. Trying to keep down the glare here. This is another like a laminated deck. Okay, so what else? This one here. The High Priestess. Wow. To have two majors. That's amazing. So with the Hanged Man, there's some surrender. To the High Priestess, it's to your higher self. Surrender to your intuition, your psychic abilities. Drop things into your meditation. Surrender into that meditation. And it's a good thing to do on Fridays, especially because maybe you have the weekend off. Whoa. Okay. There's only 22 majors in a deck, right? We've got 3 in one day. Wow. Okay, so I'll read them both in the upright and the reverse. So with the Hanged Man, if it's reversed or in the reverse type of position, we're not surrendering. We're not letting go. We're having trouble. We're stagnant, basically, right? But upright, we are reflecting on what's going on inside of ourselves, and we're getting a new perspective. We're seeing things from a different angle. And that's how it works when you're working through false beliefs. You have to question that false belief from all angles. It's just one of those things. You have to get those details. And with that moon in late degree Virgo, well, actually the last 2.5 days we've had the moon in Virgo, so we've had time to get the details. Then with the High Priestess, like I said, that this is our card for tapping into our higher self. It's our intuition. It's where we trust ourselves. It's where we get our deepest clarity, and where we go to get that the deep understanding from within that we need in order to move forward. If it were to come through in the reverse position, then that would be that you're in self-doubt. That would be that you're in some kind of self-deception where you're not willing to look at what's really going on. And enlightenment comes through stages. At first, we're not willing to make changes. We're not willing to... It's like when we're stagnant, If we're stagnant, if this were reversed, but it's, I left everything upright. If this were reversed and we're stagnant, it would be because we're either not going inside or we're not going inside because we don't want to get the answers, because if we get the answers, then we have to make the changes. And we're not ready yet. So this can be that we're not ready yet if it's reversed. So these are questions you have to ask yourself. I can't tell you what it is for you. No one can. Only you can get these answers. When it comes to the Wheel of Fortune, this is my card for free will. This is my card for those turning points you make in life, like you decide to go in a different direction. And because you did, it changes the trajectory of your life. It's usually, when it's upright, it's something really happy that changes and changes your life in a really good way. And remember, all this week we have, or all week and then through the weekend and then even into a little bit of next week, we still have that finger of fate going on. So that's what, if you want to name the finger of fate into a tarot card, this is the only card, right? Or maybe the Justice card. They're both kind of karmic. So karma, it's only the law of cause and effect. You can change it at any time. You just have to get your lessons. And by lessons, I mean figure out what your false beliefs are and work to turn them around, rewrite your history. And if this came through in the reverse position, it would be just like with the Hanged Man in the reverse position. You're stuck and you're stagnant. And so it causes a delay. You have some type of like an inner setback because you're not willing to go within. So wow, what powerful cards for the day. My goodness, I love this. Okay, so let me, I need to put the camera up higher so I can do the political reading. This one's going to be on Andy Biggs. So hold on, be right back. Okay, so first off, remember I'm going down this list of the members of Congress who've been identified in Mark Meadows' text message log as according to the J6 committee, and we have Andy Biggs up at the top. So he's the Republican House member from Arizona, and so his number was identified. Just like Ted Cruz's yesterday. God. Identified by committee investigators and independently confirmed by Talking Points memo. And of course, he did not respond to requests for comment. So there's that. And then this list with the 147 Republicans who voted to overturn election results. You can see, along with many others, and I'm going down the list here. Andy Biggs. Paul Gosar, when I read on him, I don't know if I had this list ahead of time, or Mo Brooks, but you can see. Well, here's the first page. We'll get going through this list, but anyway, Andy Biggs is there. And then, when we get to I have an updated list on this one. Those who opposed That's great. Opposed the Respect for Marriage Act. I have to go a little bit, and here he is. He's on the list there. So there were a lot of Republicans who actually did vote for it, so that's good to know, but not these guys. Okay, so I'm using the Kipper, Ciro Marchetti's Kipper, and let me tune in. Let's get these mixed up really well. Tune into Andy Biggs. What is his political and legal future? Andy Biggs. Only want the truth here. I'm thinking that some of these guys will probably, then again, if they have all the information they already need, there's no need to try and get somebody to flip, right? Okay, Andy Bags. So change. This is often job change. It can be moving. It can be moving anything from in and out of a home, but it can also be job change or home change. Deception. Somebody's going to be deceiving him. Whoa. Wow. This is going to be one of the guys that is either completely restricted from holding public office again, or maybe does prison time as well. Whoa. I think this might be turning out to be my Jack Smith card. Because, you know, this is pressing charges. This is like a grand jury trial. The courthouse card, well, in a personal reading, it can just be like you making a decision. It's much different in a personal reading. But when it comes to political, this is, you know, somebody's pressing charges. There's some legal issue going on. And often it's like there's some discovery that comes through and the guy's got the paperwork and, you know, yeah. And he's not going to be able to think of much else. He's going to be having a lot of trouble focusing in on anything else. As are, I think, most of these guys. Yeah, it's not just him, it's his inner circle. Everyone that's connected. I think we had this card. I think we had both of these cards with Ted Cruz. Maybe it takes a little longer to get the senators. This is his reputation. Let me just keep drawing cards. And we'll go from there. Let me see what's at the bottom. Yeah. So, yes, it's official. There's a public, or there's an issue with his political position and meetings that he had with people. And the teamwork. This is part of him. This card has to do with teamwork. Oops, sorry about that glare. All the people together that decided to overthrow the government and were in on it. This is our card for, you know, like clubs and meetings and teamwork and all the communications. And yeah, it's official. Like this guy, I think he's going to go to jail for some time. Wow. Okay, but just as a little lesson, I mean, that's a short story, so if you're pressed on time, you can stop here. But if you like understanding the meanings of the Kipper, what we have here is job change for him because he's been deceptive. He's lied or he's going to lie some more. And, you know, he may perjure himself during a grand jury trial right here. These two cards here would be perjury. That leads to some time spent in the slammer. And maybe when he's in the slammer, he'll just be thinking about nothing else about, you know, other than what have I done. He might get very depressed. It's a card for depression. And that's, you know, the trajectory he's on because it's pointing this way. And these cards at the top, way down on the bottom row. So if he doesn't get locked up for some reason or another, it's at least a restriction on his reputation. And I do believe he won't be able to hold a political position again. And this card up here, you know, the imprisonment restriction card is knighting to his... it's going to affect his family, but also this is a close circle of friends. When it comes to timing, it can be, you know, up to a month, but I think it's going to take longer. But then again, maybe he'll have some contempt of court going on. I'm not sure. There are so many of them, you guys. I can't keep anybody straight. There are a few key players, you know, like Rudy, John Eastman, that Peter Navarro dude, you know, Roger Stone. Jim Jordan, there's a lot that I can keep track of in my head as to what they've done, but not all of them. And this guy's one of them that I don't really know for sure. So I welcome your, your wisdom or your knowledge, your understanding of what he's done. So, but I think he's going to be locked up. The Great Fortune card is hard to mess up, but because this one's hanging over it, I think that he's going to just be mulling over, like, oh goodness, what do I do? Where am I going to make money in the future? I think he's going to be locked up and really having a hard time in prison. And he's moving towards a new experience in his life where the clan that he was involved with, these two cards together here, are his inner circle, and the clannish behavior that they're all, enmeshed in. And that's the journey that he's on. He's on this life experience, this new soul journey where his reputation is meant to be restricted. Now, on another level, you guys, if you put these two cards together, this card rules tall buildings. I don't know where he'd be locked up in, but every prison has a tower watch over guard, right? So these two cards together definitely spell, I think, the big house of some type. And maybe that's what we're getting here too, right? The tall house. God. The experience of living in the big house. Wow. Okay. Well, this one was shorter than I expected. So anyway, big hugs, you guys. Take good care. Be back soon.